In today's world, the relentless pursuit of immediate pleasure has become a defining trait of modern society. We're surrounded by technological distractions that offer quick and easy rewards, whether through social media, entertainment, or consumerism. While these activities bring short-term satisfaction, they often leave us feeling empty in the long run. This video explores how this constant search for pleasure is trapping us in a vicious cycle, turning us into modern slaves and pulling us away from a more meaningful and balanced life. The era of instant gratification. In modern times, we are living in an era of instant gratification, where access to pleasure is just a click away. Whether it's through social media, movies, food, or online shopping, almost everything we desire can be quickly and easily obtained. This convenience may seem harmless, but over time, the relentless search for immediate pleasures creates an addictive cycle that shapes our behaviors. Our brains adapt to this ease, increasingly preferring quick rewards instead of finding fulfillment in activities that require long-term effort. This phenomenon is deeply connected to the brain's reward system, where dopamine, the pleasure hormone, is released when we experience something enjoyable. Social media and apps are designed to stimulate this constant release, with likes, notifications, and comments trapping us in a vicious cycle. By receiving small doses of pleasure continuously, our brains become dependent on more stimuli, making it hard to slow down and seek out activities that require patience and focus. Moreover, the effect of instant gratification extends to all areas of life. At work, many feel demotivated when results don't appear immediately. In relationships, superficial and fast communication replaces deeper, more meaningful connections. The result is a society that values instant pleasure and distances itself from long-term goals and achievements, creating chronic dissatisfaction and a constant search for something that never seems enough. The technology addiction. Technology is one of the main tools fueling our search for instant pleasure. Apps, social media, and video games are intentionally designed to hold our attention longer, using gamification techniques and variable rewards that keep users hooked. The more we use these platforms, the more dependent we become on constant stimulation, creating a cycle that directly impacts our mental and emotional health. Studies show that excessive use of social media is directly linked to increased anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation, ironically, while people try to connect with others online. The problem isn't just the time spent, but how we are bombarded with information and stimuli that capture our attention. The constant need to be connected to the virtual world causes us to neglect the real world, harming our ability to concentrate on important tasks and human interactions. The impact of this technological addiction goes beyond mental health. In the workplace, productivity is affected, as focus is interrupted constantly by notifications and digital distractions. In personal life, many lose the ability to enjoy simple moments and connection with friends and family, as they are always seeking the next dose of pleasure provided by technology. This turns technology into a form of modern slavery, where control over our choices and time is increasingly conditioned by algorithms and notifications. Excessive consumption and the overvaluation of material pleasure. Another critical aspect of the modern search for pleasure is excessive consumption, driven by a culture that places material value above experiences and relationships. We are surrounded by marketing messages that tell us happiness lies in buying the next item, whether it's clothes, cars, or gadgets. This creates a mindset that satisfaction and pleasure are always for sale, and that the more we buy, the happier we'll be. However, this consumer cycle rarely leads to lasting satisfaction. Psychologically, the pleasure that comes with a new purchase is temporary, resulting in what is known as the hedonic treadmill, where we always want more to maintain the same level of pleasure. Soon, material pleasure becomes a trap, leading many to seek out new acquisitions endlessly without ever feeling truly satisfied. Over time, this also creates a disconnection from the deeper and more meaningful values of life, such as companionship, creativity, and personal development. Furthermore, the environmental impact of excessive consumption is devastating. Mass production, waste, and the exploitation of natural resources are direct consequences of the insatiable need to acquire more. Ultimately, the rampant pursuit of material pleasure not only alienates us emotionally, but also harms the planet and the future of upcoming generations. The slavery of comfort. Parallel to the search for immediate pleasures, modern society also worships comfort. We avoid discomfort at all costs, whether physical or emotional, which traps us in a life without challenges. However, personal growth, creativity, and even real happiness often arise from moments of discomfort and overcoming obstacles. Without facing difficulties or challenges, we become complacent, stuck in a comfort zone that limits our potential. The workplace and personal life are directly affected by this aversion to discomfort. Instead of tackling challenges that require effort and perseverance, we opt for the easier path, which prevents the development of crucial skills such as resilience and creativity. This excess of comfort generates a sense of stagnation, leading to constant dissatisfaction, despite all the luxuries and conveniences at our disposal. The connection between dopamine and the pursuit of pleasure. The science behind the endless pursuit of pleasure is deeply tied to dopamine, a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in the sensation of pleasure and reward. Every time we do something that brings us pleasure, whether it's eating, buying something new, or receiving a notification on social media, our brain releases dopamine, creating a temporary feeling of happiness and satisfaction. However, excessive exposure to these dopamine-releasing activities can lead to a sort of tolerance in the brain. Over time, the same level of pleasure that was once achieved with small stimuli now requires larger doses. This creates a vicious cycle, where we're constantly seeking more stimulation to reach the same level of satisfaction. In the digital age, this intensifies further, as we are bombarded with constant stimuli promising quick hits of pleasure, whether through likes, instant messages, or new purchases. This cycle of dopamine seeking leaves us slaves to impulsive and short-term behaviors, diminishing our ability to find pleasure in deeper, more enduring activities. The lack of control over this mechanism can result in a sense of emptiness, even when we are constantly surrounded by stimuli that, in theory, should make us happy. How to redefine the relationship with pleasure. The solution to escaping this modern slavery to pleasure isn't to completely avoid the sources of pleasure, but to redefine our relationship with them. It's essential to find a balance between immediate pleasure and long-term rewards. Practices like gratitude and mindfulness can help shift the focus to more meaningful and lasting experiences. The concept of delayed gratification, for example, can be an antidote to this culture of instant pleasure. Learning to delay gratification and to appreciate small moments of discomfort and effort can lead to a deeper, more enduring sense of satisfaction. Instead of constantly seeking new stimuli, we can focus on activities that bring us purpose and fulfillment. Additionally, reconnecting with simpler experiences such as spending time with friends and family, engaging in hobbies, or even exercising can help rewire the brain to seek out pleasures that are healthy and sustainable. The challenge lies in abandoning the idea that pleasure is only found in major accomplishments or material things, and realizing that it can be discovered in the small joys of everyday life. Ultimately, liberation from this modern slavery begins with awareness. By understanding the mechanisms that drive us to seek instant pleasure, we can make more intentional choices, pursuing long-term gratifications and a healthy balance. It's not about eliminating instant pleasure from our lives, but learning to value it in moderation while cultivating experiences and relationships that bring real meaning and happiness. The power is in our hands to break this cycle and find a more fulfilling and authentic path.